What happened? I was on Twitter, and I came across this
tweet
video of Sammy Davis Jr. and Tom Jones singing together. I don't know why that was on my feed.
Okay.
But what happened to crooners? There used to be all these crooners like Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. These guys would just croon, and ladies loved him.
Yeah, now ladies like guys that wear their baseball hats sideways and fight YouTube celebrities.
You still don't think like 50-year-old women would love like a good crooner?
Yeah, probably. When we were in like the 90s, we had a few still, right? Like, was Harry Connick? Is he a crooner?
Yeah.
Michael Bublé. If you
but
like
it's
Christmas
like a
music,
one-off.
if you love Christmas music, those guys are the shit.
It's true. They both were dreamy and had nice voices.
Well, you have a distinct voice. Maybe you could be a crooner.
Wow.
Take some singing lessons.
All of a sudden, that's my thing?
Yeah, you have an interesting voice. I've always said that. You do have like your voice projects like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's like an atom bomb.
I told you I had some kid write about that and said I talk too loud or whatever.
Yeah. You can't really say it's too loud because you're not. I had a friend named Mike Ron growing up, and his voice
two first names, Mike Ron?
It was R-A-H-N, but I never even thought of it, but I never trusted him, and I never trust people with three first names.
I either thought it was Mike Ron or Mike Ron.
Mike Ron. He was my parents. My parents bought me a robot and said
nice.
That was my best friend from ages 6 to 12.
Mark, go play with Mike Ron again.
Mark, I am here to play with you.
That's why you have an AI fear now, because Mike Ron turned on you. Who's the number one crooner of all time?
I don't even know if I exactly know what crooning means. Sinatra, right?
Sinatra, or is Elvis also a crooner, is the question.
Well, I thought the whole thing was that he was one of the first, like, rock and roll, right? He's not, crooning isn't rock and roll.
He did a lot of crooning songs.
What does it mean? What does that word mean? What's the definition?
That's a great question.
You have a computer. You have a computer in front of you. Oh, so do I, but I have to put this stupid thing in front of me.
Crooner meaning is the first thing that comes up. Is a singer, especially a man, who sings jazz standards. Frank Sinatra was a well-known crooner. The noun crooner, I keep thinking of nooner when I re-say it.
Like sex?
Describes a silky voiced singer of sentimental jazz favorites. They were especially popular in the late 20s until the early 50s. You know what comes up? So you know how Google has the questions? Like the seventh one down. Was Elvis considered a crooner? Should I click it to see what it says? Soon, rockers like Elvis Presley supercharged the crooner mystique, driving the traditional crooners from the airwaves.
Because he didn't sing jazz standards, he sang rock and roll songs. He was still a crooner, but he was not crooning jazz songs.
I don't know. Sounds like there was some battle that went on.
I think you should take up crooning, Jared.
I should. Is there a class I can
need to
take?
enunciate my words better. When I listen to, you're better at that than I am. I need to pronounce my words and push them, and push them forth from my mouth to make them impactful, like you do. Yeah. Hey everybody, it's Mark. How are you guys today? Welcome to the Mag Room. It's Friday night in the Mag Room.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag Room. Mag Room. The Mag Room. The Mag Room.
For introducing, anything in your week, anything exciting?
I heard this thing on, I think I heard it on Sunday, and it was just, what is it? The quote was like, not every day is a good day, but there is good in every day.
I think that was the Ice Cube song.
So he had to say it was not a bad, it wasn't a good day, but he found something good in that day.
Yeah.
He did it more rhythmically than I did.
Is there swears in that song?
I'm guessing there are, but I don't really remember all the lyrics off the top of my head right now.
The reason I ask is we at lunch
Good day.
on Fridays, the students play music in the cafeteria, and that song was on. And in my head, I'm like, is this swears? I wasn't in the area where you can hear well.
Do you get offended by the word
I don't think in a dining hall full of people that don't necessarily want to hear that should be played. If there was like one swear, that'd be fine. But if it's like a lot, and in the chorus, and
You're very easily offended. I don't know that I ever knew that. I realized that about you.
Like you said, I like rules. I think society needs certain rules to exist.
But if everybody else doesn't think they need those rules, you just still insist that they do?
Some people are wrong, I think.
Not you, though. Okay, I'm sorry. Go on. I don't know. I kind of feel like I remember there being a beeped out word in the song, but from like watching the music video, which was a cool video. Remember when MTV had videos?
Yeah. I interrupted your story though about this.
I was listening to NPR and some girl said something about not every day is a good day, but there is some good in every day, and I thought, I'll write something down every day and see if anything comes of it. So I wanted to write one good thing down a day from Monday to Friday this week, read them to you, and just see if you had any comments on them.
First of all, I think that is wonderful.
So now it's a fun way to look at your day. At the end of the day, you kind of look back and think, like, what was nice about today, you know? And then
because expressing gratitude is a great way to be satisfied in your life.
Yeah.
Because then you think of the positive things instead of like, this or that. All right, so I want to hear these. I'm excited.
If you comment upon them, I think you'll comment on Monday. So I'm going to read from Friday backward.
Freaky Friday.
So that was today. So today, and I got to like 3 o'clock today, and I was like, nothing that interesting has happened today. And a girl walked in and gave me, I don't know how much it is, but she gave me a gift certificate for Jersey Mike's.
I like Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, no, so I should hold it until you come down next time. So that was Friday. That was today.
How much is on the Jersey Mike's gift card?
I didn't look. I didn't look yet. I don't know.
Because if it's like $5, you can't even get a sandwich. So we better check that out.
I bet it's more than that, though.
Yeah, 25.
She made a special trip just to give it to me. Yeah, I think it's got to be
$25. If it's what she had left, it's like
$3.97
that she had left on the gift card.
That's all thumb worn, like a little faded. Tuesday, I was repaid in full, $300. I'd lent a friend to go to Las Vegas.
What? You've never been repaid.
So I got paid back all the money I lent this person. No, I do get paid back. His was just faster than I guess I might have expected.
So less than 5 years?
It didn't take him any... Yeah, it took like 3 weeks. It was fine.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great.
So he's on the good side of Mark's lending library?
Well, I like when I get a sense of somebody's character. Like, I like the guy. I just don't really know him that well, which was really kind of strange. The way he borrowed it from me, tell me if this is weird to you. So, He comes, I'm at work, and I didn't know he was coming. It was early on, like, whatever day it was, Thursday. And I'm here, and I see him walk through the door. I'm like, oh, hey, what's going on? And I don't think he'd ever been in here before. I just know him I play pool with him. It's just another one of the guys.
Oh, he'd never been in your shop?
I don't think I'd ever seen him here, no. Okay. I said, what's up? And he said, I'm going to Vegas tonight. Like, it's a pool league thing. Teams get invited to go and da-da-da-da-da. But he says, I'm going to Vegas tonight, and I'm just going around collecting money for the trip. I'm like, what? How do I fit into that? And he said, I was just wondering if I could borrow $300. I need $1,200 to do all this to be where I need to be or whatever, and I $300 short. And I just thought it was kind of, I don't think he meant it in a presumptuous way, but it seemed like I knew you'd give me $300. He never asked me for anything before.
You think you're on a website as
like a
guy
schmuck?
to go to?
A schmuck?
Yeah. I'd say it's more of a chump.
Yeah, a chump, a sap, something like that, yeah. Okay, so that was Tuesday. I got paid back, and then Monday, this was my favorite.
Manic Monday.
Just another Manic Monday. This is probably my favorite one from the week, and I thought you might like it and see if you wanted to ask any questions. I don't know if this is funny or not. So I went out to lunch with my parents Monday. That was Labor Day.
On a work day? Oh, Labor Day.
Yeah. We always end up talking about things from the past. You know, there'll be some funny story about Lori or about me or...
Sure.
So you hear a lot, so therefore you hear a lot of the same stories. I've heard stories of, like, my dad, some of my dad's stories I've heard maybe 15,000 times, I think.
Yeah.
So...
That's great, because otherwise they would just tell you what they had for, like, lunch yesterday or something. That seems like what a lot of my older relatives do.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, yesterday we had a hamburger.
Yeah.
It's like...
No,
because that's the thing that happened.
We do a little bit of that, but theirs is kind of boring. They go to the same 5 places all the time.
All right.
Anyway, so we went out to lunch, and we were just talking about. We were talking, and I ended up hearing a story about my sister that I had never heard before. So my parents are telling. They say, "Oh, we were." One time we went over to, I don't remember the people's names. Rick and Suzanne's house.
The Thompsons'
house, to Rick and Suzanne Thompson. We went over to their house for like
wouldn't they have cool nicknames, or was this not in Washington?
I think it wasn't. Well, yeah, because Lori was like 5, so it was in Washington. Yeah. It was Steamboat and Mishi's. Steamboat and Mishi's had Mishi had
great.
A little potluck? Like a potluck dinner. Exactly. You're following this perfectly, Jared. You're right with me. I think you're gonna like this story.
Potluck tea party?
No, Jared, come on, don't ruin it. Maybe Mishi and Steamboat are into that kind of thing, but not cheese and
Steamboat loved
cheese and bunny, or not Steamboat.
No,
or not
right.
key. This was just normal 70s. Probably was a key party. Who am I kidding? Normal 70s dinner. 1972. Yeah, right. Steamboat probably had a shirt unbuttoned to belly, chest hair
coming out,
looking hot.
Yeah,
like Larry from Three's Company. So, Lori, my parents brought my sister along. She's 5 years old. They're all probably out, maybe having little sips of wine and telling funny stories. And Lori wanders away and goes into the bathroom. And next thing you know, everybody at the table hears Lori screaming her head off. She had gone through, somebody's purse was in the bathroom, is the way I was told the story. And she was looking through the purse, and she ended up, my guess is that she thought she was spraying herself with some like perfume, but she maced herself. While my parents were having dinner at Steamboat and Mishi's house. And so
that ended the key
that
party
alone,
quick.
the image of a little 5-year-old girl macing herself and crying and having to go to the hospital and the parents have to leave and all that was making me laugh to the point where I keep, like, when I'm driving, I keep thinking about it when I'm driving. I keep picturing my sister with this bright red crying face, poor little girl. But it makes me laugh so hard. And then, like 2 years after this incident, when my sister did this, he runs into a guy, we'll call him Lockbox. And Lockbox says to my dad, Cheese, hey Cheese, I haven't seen you in years. Last time I saw you was when your daughter maced herself at Steamboat's house.
Nice.
So that was just making me laugh. So I learned a new story about my sister, that she maced herself by her little curiosity killed the cat type of deal when she's 5 years old. And it keeps making me laugh to picture a 5-year-old macing herself in a stranger's bathroom.
So it's a funny story about your sister almost blinding herself.
That was the good thing about Monday, yeah. And that was the first day of the week. I don't know. It keeps making me laugh. So yes,
that's great.
Seemingly maybe sadistic story about my sister possibly blinding herself made my Monday.
Yeah, my Sisk stories this week are actually about family.
Oh, okay.
I have a theme. I'm trying to theme again.
So my story about my sister macing herself fits into this whole thing.
It does. That's what I mean. It's a good segue.
That's great. Okay.
Sisk stories. All right. This is we've talked about these before, and I always just think they're interesting.
Robots.
This was an obituary.
Yep.
written about this guy named James Lovelace. Born in 1963, it says Jamie, a divorcee, father, grandfather, and proud owner of a few lots in the trailer park, had enough and up and died on us June 14th in order to avoid another presidential stolen election mishap in the near future. On many occasions in life, James was seen in his backyard at the trailer park during the early hours of the morning, hammering beers, standing over country-style ribs and yelling, "It's got a head like a cat on it," while nearby neighbors would peek out their windows bearing looks of disgust and amazement as his party guests were slurring remarks about needing to speed up his cooking style. "We've been here since 5 o'clock, they would say. "I've got work in the morning." We don't know if he was married, but he definitely was a ladies' man. There was Kathy, Mary Lou, Tammy, Deborah, Carrie, Tina, etc., etc. "It's in the bones," he told us proudly, pointed his skinny, pasty white legs. "Women love a good chin." Jamie loved his family more than anything else in the world except ice cold bush, room temperature bush, T-bones, New York strip, prime rib, shrimp, swimming, poker, tank tops, Kentucky men's basketball, and his personal copy of Eddie Murphy's Raw.
What is the thing about it has a head like a cat? What does that mean?
I don't know.
The thing that he's cooking?
I guess.
Has a head like a cat? Does that mean he doesn't know what he's about to eat?
Maybe.
What does that line mean?
Maybe he's cooking a cat.
He just cooks anything?
I guess.
I like this guy.
Yeah. So, as an obituary, it seems tongue-in-cheek, because even the last line says, "He will be moderately missed."
Yeah, the last one you did was real vitriolic. I remember it was about like a bad father.
Yeah.
So this one's sort of about a ne'er-do-well, just like a dirtbag that's kind of likable, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he had fun. Seems like there's a little bit yearning. Well, I assume his son Rodney did, because it says he leaves behind his second favorite son, Rocky Lovelace, his favorite son, Rodney Lovelace. So I assume Rodney wrote it.
Well, my sister knows that I'm more loved than she is, so if she wrote my obituary, she would write it that way.
Really? Okay. How about this one? Sisk story. This is just the title. There's not a lot to this story, but the title, Rudy Farias, a Houston man reported missing in 2015, was living with his mother the whole time. Police.
His mom's name was Police?
No, I guess the police reported that. I don't know, it's a weird title. But or he liked the band The Police. They played when he was found. It's been tough.
Don't stand so.
Sting, I told you I want to hear Roxanne.
So close to me. Oh, what's the one I really like? So lonely.
Oh,
so lonely.
I can't stand that one.
So lonely.
We drove up to, did I tell you this story ever before?
Probably.
We've
talked for 10,000 hours.
Drove up to Boston for a New Year's party. Went with this guy, friends with him. But he drove and he plays the live Police album. One of the songs, So Lonely, has like this 7-minute part where Sting just goes low, 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 and then the crowd goes low, 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 and it's like fine, I guess, to hear it once, but he would play it again, and I'm like, this is.
I was gonna say that song's not anywhere near 7 minutes long. It's like a 2.5 minute song.
No, but this was a 7-minute part of the song.
A live version. No, yes. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Low, 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 and the crowd just
low, low, low.
Yeah, just over and over again. So I was like, can you not play that song again? So when I said that, he then played it like 30 more times.
Yep.
On the ride.
Good for him, because you would have done the same thing.
So it's my least favorite. It's like that was like a car, the Mercury Mystique. My Michelle was actually, when I started dating Michelle, it was the car she had. So it's probably the most boring car you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It was like a nondescript sedan. Like a Ford Taurus, that like what you had, a Ford Taurus, but
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
It was like a smaller version of that.
A boring sedan-y looking car.
Yeah, we drove it cross country. It was fine. It was like the least well-used space in a car ever. Like, think of a small car, but you get in it and it feels
well-used.
Well, it feels like it's smaller than it actually is.
Oh.
Like the doors were weird shapes where you could only fit in like tiny things. The trunk was extra small. Like they were like, "Hey, do you want to buy a smaller car? And we'll make everything inside it smaller than it actually is."
Maybe that's why it was called the Mystique. Maybe that was the Mystique.
The competition has no comment. Mercury Mystique. Compare for yourself at your Lincoln.
We went to a magician. We went to a county fair actually this past weekend, the Goshen County Fair, which was a lot of fun. And there was a magician guy. He spun this thing, like the Twilight Zone, that thing that like spins and it.
No.
It looks like it's a funnel, like it's like.
Oh, okay, like
yeah,
a James Bond, like in the beginning
yeah.
of James Bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he
like
spun
concentric.
that, and he's like, "Look at it, look at it," and he looked at it for 30 seconds, and he's like, "All right, look at my head," and he looked up, and his head just got bigger. It was amazing how he made that. So, why did I tell that story? Oh, like the car.
You have a tiny head.
Maybe it was the nice.
Oh, right.
The car was an illusion. It's like you're gonna get in this car, but you would think they would want to make you think it was bigger.
Maybe they spun it the wrong way.
And they did. They did. The nickname of the car was the Mercury Mistake, I think. So hers was fine. I thought it was fine.
CVS is not going to be a sponsor of the show, but Mercury might still be in.
I don't think Mercury exists anymore.
But if they ever come back, we are a proud sponsor of the new Mercury Mystique.
What? And now you're cut. We got our first sponsor, Mark, and you just lost it. So back to the story.
Right.
So the mom basically lied. Like they'd come say, like, "Do you know where your son is?" And she would say no. And it doesn't really make much sense why she did it. And I didn't read a ton of the details, but I thought that's kind of like Mark's dream.
To not exist? To be like...
Well, like if everybody just thought you were missing so they didn't know where you were or talk to you.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, so maybe your mom would pull that off for you.
I mean,
They would like where he would go out.
How did he like make money?
People would see him, but they didn't know. Like if you lived near your parents, how many people around your parents know you?
No, none of them. Zero.
Yeah, so you could go live there. As they'd be like, "Who's that guy? I don't know." Your mom would just be like, "I don't know who that is."
But I'm wanted by the law 8 miles away or something?
No, you're not wanted. You're just missing. They're looking for you. Mark Einloth is missing, but no one there knows who you are, so you're just missing. You just live around there, do what you want.
It would be cooler if I was wanted. Right? I mean, it'd make for a better story.
So you're going to do something now, or you're running from the law?
I've always wanted to rob a bank. I've said it since I was 12 years old. I've always wanted to rob a bank. We should do it and then go live at my parents' house.
I like now it's we. I have to do. Are your parents going to let me live there too?
No, I'll take 100% of the proceeds. That's cool.
But are your parents going to let me live in your house?
It's a small place. I'm just me being there is going to be pretty cramped.
Because probably my whole family would have to come too, I would think.
Yeah. So I guess I shouldn't include you.
Do they have a yard?
Forget it.
Sisk story. This is it's a little bit of a tenuous tie to a family thing.
Okay.
But for me, it was thinking like I'm envisioning. All right, you flying with your parents, and then your stomach starts to bother you.
Okay.
And you feel like you're gonna have diarrhea.
Okay. Have we taken off yet?
Yes.
We're in the
you're
air.
in the air. You're like an hour
problem.
from. And you get up to go do it, but then you don't make it. And there's diarrhea all over the plane.
This is something that would happen to me for sure.
What would your parents do?
My mom's a nurse. She would. My mom was as cool as a cucumber under.
No,
that
but would
type
they
of
pretend
thing.
not to know you? Like what?
No.
Really?
No.
People are gonna hate you for the whole time to wherever you go. Yeah, Delta flight from Atlanta to Barcelona
Oh no.
was forced to turn around and make an emergency landing after a passenger had diarrhea all the way through the plane.
I wonder
how do you get it all? Like, do you think it'd be
over the
I
plane?
think it'd be in like your pants.
Most of the time, but it would leak out the bottom. And
Maybe if you had shorts on and you ran to the bathroom and it was like...
Imagine that. Imagine you had diarrhea on a plane and it made national news. That'd be crazy.
It doesn't say who it was.
The podcast would be huge. Oh, they don't give the guy's name?
No.
That's good. Maybe you're not allowed. I wonder if you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to give out names in diarrhea-related emergencies?
It's true. It's like medical... what is that thing? HIPAA.
Because nowadays, there's got to be a video of it on YouTube, right?
I would think so. There'd be some TikTok thing of some passenger on
cool
the flight.
dance song.
This guy is shitting all over the plane.
Would you be more comfortable if somebody shot somebody in the head on a plane, but then was like, look, that's it. I'm not killing anybody else, I promise. I'm just going to go back in my seat, sit down. The authorities will take care of me when we land or whatever. Or a guy had diarrhea down the aisle. Not on you or anything, but there's diarrhea on the
aisle where I see
next to you. So right as you step out, you've got to like dance around diarrhea if you have to go to the bath, or when you get off the plane.
That is a toss-up, I think.
I
guess the diarrhea, because I can't trust that the gun guy's not going to shoot. I mean, unless you could tell me we took away the gun.
Yeah. Okay.
And is the guy in my row? Is he like right next to you?
You have a guy with a bullet hole in his head next to you, or a stream of diarrhea.
And it's a full plane? I can't change my seat or anything?
Right. Yeah, of course. The whole point is that you either have to sit next to the dead guy or sit next to diarrhea. But not both. You don't have to sit next to the dead guy. Is the dead guy going to
smell?
Probably not in that amount of time, right? I don't think it would start to smell immediately. But could you fall asleep next to a dead guy?
No. How much longer is left in the flight?
What did you say? 2 hours. They were 2 hours into it, so 6 hours. We got 6 hours left.
No, they would turn around, wouldn't they?
No, that's the point.
So I got to go 6 more hours.
You got to gut out the state.
With either diarrhea that I can't go around.
Well, you can. You just have to be very, you have to dance around it.
There's no way.
But you'll smell it.
People aren't going to walk on that.
There's no caveats to this. Dead guy or diarrhea? Would you rather be next to a dead guy or diarrhea for an entire flight?
Do I know the dead guy?
It's me, yes.
So if somebody murdered you and I'm right next to you for 6 hours? I think I'll go with the diarrhea then.
I was going to say Vladimir Putin.
Sure. Wow. I think I'd have to go with this is hard. What would you do?
Diarrhea.
Really?
Yeah. I don't want to sit next to a dead guy with a hole in his head. That's crazy.
I just feel like someone would throw up at some point with the diarrhea. Then there'd be vomit and diarrhea. I like that your family would just cover for you, because that's tough. I feel like I would just pretend like I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Diarrhea guy.
I'd
I'd be like, Mark, see you in Barcelona.
No, my family's very loyal.
That's good.
And my mom's a nurse. She'd clean up my bottom and all that. Put some powder on it.
In the
Make
plane?
sure I was okay. Yeah, she's my mom. She would totally do that for me.
Maybe knowing you and all your history, in her carry-on, she has a thing to clean up plane diarrhea just because she's ready.
Plane diarrhea? There's a specific...
Yes.
Because it's at a different altitude, it gets its own name.
You get there's own package of stuff that you got to use at different altitudes.
Oh, that poor guy. That sucks. It's got to be so embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
So embarrassing.
You're just sitting there and people are just yelling at you.
The tray table is stowed in its compartment. If your dinner shade is drawn,
Produced by James Lovelace. Theme song by Mega Yelox. Email mugaandcisco@gmail.com. Send us some emails. We haven't had a contest in a while. Maybe we should do a contest soon.
Yeah, they usually go over so big. We get so many responses and stuff. That's what we really need to kick it off.
I told you, I think we have some new listeners from different places, so. Glad you had the Grateful theme. I really enjoyed that. I hope you do that again at some point.
Maybe I should do it forever.
I'd love it.
Like, always write something, like, at the end of the day, write something good down.
They have notebooks you can buy. Maybe I'll buy you one.
Why don't I do that? Why don't we make it like I have to do it every day because you're going to ask me just every once in a while. You're like, hey, give me one of your good day things this week.
I like it. They have a notebook that's a quote a day notebook where something happens and you would write down a quote. But you could use that. Maybe I'll send you one. I have one. I've never used it. It's on but I'll buy you one. And in the quote a day, instead, you could just write something good every day. But then you'd have a whole journal of your whole year, and you could go back and...
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm always grateful for?
Sticking with the mag room.
Because if I do...
When you stick with the mag room, everything else
is cream cheese. Why do you do like that whiny voice now?
Because that's how you do it.
I do?
Stick with the mag room. No, it's like sing-songy. Stick with the mag room.
That wasn't how you just did that one. Yours is a little like... It's like a mix of that voice and your puberty voice, like mixed together.
Stick with the mag room. I feel like I've done that. I've done the stick with the mag room and the puberty voice.
Definitely have.
I was going to enunciate. God damn it. I'll enunciate it properly.
For the end here. You do it on your own. I want to see that you do it right. Let's do your best enunciation.
So when you stick with how should I start it off though? Like I feel like do I just say it?
I don't know. I always try to come in with like some sort of thing that I lead into it. Doesn't always work, but just say you're grateful
one thing I'm grateful for.
One thing I might try to enunciate
is when I stick with the. Oh, wait a minute! I was gonna go right into the whiny voice. Maybe I do think. One thing I'm grateful for is every Friday night getting to talk with my good buddy Jared, and at the end of the day, we say, "Stick with the mag room," and everything else is cream cheese.
Amen.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
That's so weird.